My name is Jonathan Casaverde, and for my portfolio project, me and my group decided to create an original action and thriller film opening titled Champion. My group included Ariana Shakabi, Rafael Sanchez, and Tomas Quilequeo. Going into our portfolio project, we wanted to battle against the stereotypical boxing movie of a stubborn fighter who learns and improves. The cliche of overcoming multiple obstacles and gang related violence is overused and boring. So, how can a group of teenagers break this stereotype and aim to create an original piece? We simply researched all of the used cliches and created a storyline that broke away from that, developing a deeper story and creating characters with more aspects. The film opening focuses mainly on an illegal street fight in which Vincent Montoya boxes against Booker Cannon. We started the fight with Montoya showing a strong front and pretty much dominating the fight. Slowly, we flipped it to the opposite, having Cannon take the lead and at the end throwing him towards the pickup truck, consequently knocking him out. We challenged the typical boxing convention of an African American protagonist who is deeply intertwined with gang violence. We used two fighters of Latino descent and refused to connect them to illegal activities, but kept them in the lower income group. However, the challenge of using female roles instead of male roles was a path my group did not choose to take. We found it difficult to integrate a female role without focusing more on sexuality rather than on personal growth. We wanted our opening to be strong and impressive, not weak and common. We also challenged the idea that illegal boxing is criminal and ugly. We wanted to show more aspects to Montoya. We did this through our hospital room scene that allowed our audiences to relate to the protagonist and not to discriminate against him. Typically, audiences find illegal fights to be just that, illegal and shameful, but throughout our 2-minute opening, we aim to shift that perspective to a lighter, more accepting tone. We sought to create the thought, what if I was in that situation? To create an interest for the film, we ended our opening with the hospital room scene in which Vincent Montoya can be seen in a coma. Our friend Ethan Gayer, who is a sports announcer at our school's TV production program, helped us to do the voiceover. The voiceover was done not only to explain the situation that Montoya found himself in, but to create suspense with the question, will he ever be the same? Although the fight scene might seem as the main focus in our portfolio, the ending scene is the strongest point. The fight scene is filler to allow our audiences to build connections and understand our characters. The final scene is what really makes this opening successful. Given the fact that we are not entirely familiar with the film industry, we would like to distribute locally at small independent film festivals and local school competitions. We would enter our films into our TV Productions Programs competition that is held annually, or the Broward Initiative Shortcuts, which allows Broward County students to submit original works for a chance to win scholarships and prizes. Our school's film club also holds an annual film festival in which we would be highly interested in entering. The festival would allow us to receive criticism from other peers and grow our product to diverse audiences. In this project, I mainly grew in the creative aspect. I've never been one for editing or directing, but I love to use my creativeness to convey a story. With the help of Tomas and Rafael, we were able to develop a story that we considered to be a short-spoken masterpiece. Using very few words, we wrote a screenplay that would hook the audience and familiarize them with our characters within 2 minutes. Successfully doing so allowed my team to really relate to our audience and keep their attention on our product. On the actual filming day, I battled with my anxiety. Our groups had a very difficult time communicating and deciding on a date to film. I work a part-time job, which allows me to save up for college, but also consumes a major part of my free time. We had made arrangements to film our opening on the evening of March 16th, yet none of us thought to check the weather, and that ended with 30 teenagers left with nowhere to go but home. I left anxious and on the verge of a meltdown. I had taken the day off from work, which is difficult for me to do given that I am a manager, and feared that I would not be able to participate in the filming. Thankfully, we decided to use the rain to our advantage and ended up filming a major portion of our opening in the pouring rain. This taught me patience and helped me deal with my problems head on and not avoid them. Juggling this project and 4 other ACE classes plus a part-time job really helped me grow to a more responsible young adult. The creative process allowed me to expand my knowledge on my field of interest and really understand how difficult it is to create an idea from the ground up. To edit our portfolio, we used Adobe Premiere Pro, in which Ariana and Tomas were able to create an original title scene and combine our multiple footages to flow. We also used a microphone to record our Foley sounds. We wanted to make the punches sound as realistic as possible, so we recorded ourselves repeatedly punching pieces of raw meat. I was not involved in the editing process as much as Ariana, and as I stated before, technology is not my strong suit. We also used DSLR cameras and a cheap stabilizer to keep our shots clean and crisp. We wanted to show the most professional movie that we could show with our limited resources. Thankfully, we didn't need to record any sounds on the actual day of filming, and that made every shot much simpler to film. The chance to create this film opening allowed me to grow in multiple ways. Working with my teammates, I got hands-on experience developing a new storyline and working together to succeed in our debacles. This was a truly educational experience, and I am so glad that I was able to take part in this portfolio. Thank you to Cambridge for their time in viewing my film. I'm Jonathan Casaverde, and this is Champion.